What's up, Eagles fans? Today we've got a loaded episode with one of the most intriguing storylines coming out of Philly lately. So buckle up because we're diving deep into the Cam Jurgens conversation. Now, let's be real. When you talk about pressure, when you talk about expectations, few players in recent memory have had a tougher road than this guy. Cam Jurgens didn't just walk into any regular job on the offensive line. He stepped into the role vacated by one of the greatest players in franchise history. We're talking about Jason Kelce here, a legend, a future Hall of Famer, a player who set the gold standard for what it means to be a center in the NFL. From the moment Jurgens was drafted back in the second round of the 2022 NFL Draft, the writing was on the wall. Every Eagles fan, every analyst, everyone around the league could see it coming. This was the heir to Kelce's throne, but he wasn't thrown into the fire immediately. No, the Eagles gave him time. They let him marinate behind the master, learning the intricacies of the center position from the best to ever do it in green and white. For 2 seasons, Jurgens bided his time, stepped in at guard when needed due to injuries, and took mental notes, all while the city kept one eye on the field and one eye on his development. And then, the moment arrived. Jason Kelce made it official. After the 2023 season, he was retiring. The Kelce era came to an end, and just like that, the Jurgens era began. No more projections, no more waiting in the wings. It was time to prove he could not just fill the shoes, but maybe one day lace up a legacy of his own. And let me tell you, what a start he had. Not only did the Eagles go on to win the Super Bowl, but Jurgens was a key part of that run. In his first full season as a starting center, he didn't just hold his own, he thrived. The guy was making plays, anchoring the offensive line, dominating at the line of scrimmage, and even pulling off the infamous tush push with the kind of precision that made Philly fans forget, if only for a moment, that Kelce wasn't there anymore. He capped off the year with a Pro Bowl selection. Yes, a Pro Bowl nod in his very first year as a starter at center. And to top it all off, the front office clearly saw the same potential. Jurgens inked a massive 4-year extension worth $68 million during the offseason. That kind of investment, that kind of commitment from the organization, it speaks volumes. You won't hand out that kind of contract to someone unless you believe they're the future. And the Eagles clearly believe that Cam Jurgens is their guy moving forward. So, naturally, when the preseason rankings started coming out ahead of the 2025 campaign, fans expected to see Jurgens listed among the top-tier centers in the NFL. I mean, we're talking about a player who's already proven himself under pressure, who's delivered on the biggest stage, and who's only just getting started. But when Pro Football Focus released their positional rankings, it was like a slap in the face. 13th among NFL centers. That's where they place Cam Jurgens. And let's be honest, that number does not tell the full story. According to PFF's grading system, Jurgens showed significant improvement over the season, but the ranking was held back by one key factor: pass protection. Now, it's true. There were some moments where Jurgens got beat in pass sets, where the technique wasn't perfect, and where his matchup took advantage. But come on, let's give the guy some credit. He's playing one of the most cerebral and physically demanding positions in football, and he's doing it in his first year as a full-time starter. And still, his overall grade, 67.1. That put him 16th out of 64 centers in the league. Top 25%. That's not just serviceable, that's solid. That's more than solid. And when you look specifically at run blocking, Jurgens actually graded even higher, finishing with a 68.5, placing him 19th in that department. So again, we're not talking about someone who's just getting by. We're talking about a player who is legitimately performing at a high level. And here's the thing that PFF conveniently downplays. Context matters. Jurgens played through an injury in the playoffs. I mean, if you take those games out of the equation, his grade jumps significantly, placing him in the top 10. That's not speculation. That's from their own data. So how does a top 10 grade in healthy games, a Pro Bowl nod, and a championship run all add up to a ranking of 13th? It just doesn't make sense. And don't forget, he missed only one start the entire season, and that was in the final week against the Giants when the Eagles rested their starters. So durability, check. Consistency, check. High-level play against top-tier defenses, also check. The dude was handling pressure packages, adjusting protections, and helping lead one of the most efficient offenses in football, all while stepping into the shadow of a Philly icon. That's not just impressive, it's extraordinary. Now look, is Jurgens the absolute best center in the league right now? No. Even the most loyal Eagles fans can admit that he's got room to grow. He needs to clean up some of the pass blocking mechanics. He needs to work on staying anchored against elite interior rushers. But here's the key. He's 25 years old. 25. And in year one, he already looks more advanced than many veterans who've been doing this a lot longer. 4 sacks allowed over the course of a full season may sound like a lot, but that's a number that's only going to go down as he gains experience and the chemistry along the offensive line continues to build. You want to talk about upside? Cam Jurgens has it in spades. He's got the physical tools, the mental approach, the coaching around him, and the locker room support to become one of the best in the business. And if we want to draw some perspective, let's rewind the clock a little bit. Jason Kelce didn't even make his first Pro Bowl until his 4th year in the league. That's right, 4 years. Jurgens, he's already got one under his belt. That alone should tell you just how special this kid could be. We don't know if Cam will ever reach the same legendary status as Kelce. That's a high bar, maybe an impossible one. But here's what we do know. He's playing like someone who understands the assignment. He's playing like someone who wants to build his own legacy while honoring the one that came before him. And if this is just the beginning, if this is just the foundation of what's to come, then Eagles fans have every reason to be excited because Cam Jurgens is not just filling in. He's stepping up. And here's where things start to get really interesting. Because when you look past just the grades, just the stats, and really start diving into what Cam Jurgens is doing on the field, you begin to realize how much more he's bringing to the table than people are giving him credit for. This isn't just a young player doing his job. This is a guy taking command of one of the most critical units on any football team, the offensive line, and doing it with a calm confidence that's rare for someone so early in their career. The offensive line is the engine that powers the whole offense. Without solid protection, your quarterback can't operate. Without clean lanes, your running backs can't get going. And the center, that's the brain. That's the guy making the calls, reading the defense, setting protections, adjusting to blitzes, communicating with guards, and keeping everything in sync. It's a position where mental sharpness is just as important as physical power. And Cam Jurgens has proven he's got both. He's reading coverages, diagnosing pressure, and keeping the offensive line tight and disciplined against some of the most creative and aggressive defenses in the league. That doesn't show up in a PFF grade. That doesn't always make a highlight. Real. But it makes a difference every single snap. And his athleticism? Off the charts. We saw glimpses of it in college, but now in the NFL stage, it's even more apparent. The way he moves in space, the way he gets to the second level and picks off linebackers. He's a weapon in the run game. He's not just standing his ground, he's driving defenders back, opening up massive lanes and turning routine runs into explosive plays. When you got a center who can pull, reach, block, and get out in front like a fullback, you start to unlock parts of your playbook that other teams can't even touch. That's what Jurgens brings. That's why his presence is so impactful, even when the stat sheet might look modest. And let's not forget the chemistry. Jurgens didn't just slide into Kelce's role, he earned the respect of an entire locker room. He stepped into that huddle with Jalen Hurts, with Lane Johnson, with veterans who've been through the wars, and he owned it. You can't fake leadership in that kind of environment. Either you rise to the moment or you get exposed. And Jurgens, he rose. He's got the trust of his quarterback, the confidence of his coaches, and the backing of a city that lives and breathes football. Philly doesn't hand out praise easily. This is a tough crowd and for good reason. But Cam's earned it the right way. Through his play, his work ethic, and his no-nonsense approach. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL rumor mill is buzzing with fresh speculation involving the Philadelphia Eagles. After recently trading away linebacker BRYCE HUFF, whispers around the league suggest the Eagles might be setting their sights on one of the most talked about defensive prospects, TRAVON Walker. While nothing has been confirmed yet, sources close to the team hint that Philadelphia is actively engaged in talks that could potentially bring Walker into the fold. Walker, a top-tier defensive talent, has been a hot commodity since his college days. His combination of speed, power, and versatility makes him an ideal fit for many defensive schemes, and the Eagles' front office seems keen on adding that kind of impact player to bolster their defense. The trade of BRYCE HUFF, a solid contributor on special teams and as a rotational player, has raised eyebrows as many wonder if it was a strategic move to clear cap space or roster spots for bigger moves like acquiring Walker. Philadelphia's defensive unit has shown flashes of brilliance, but has also struggled with consistency, particularly in getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Walker's potential arrival could address that weakness and bring a new level of intensity and skill to the Eagles' defensive front. Given Walker's reputation and the buzz surrounding him, the idea of pairing him with some of Philadelphia's existing defensive stars is generating a lot of excitement among fans and analysts alike. While the Eagles have not officially confirmed any trade talks, the mere fact that discussions are reportedly underway keeps fans on edge. Could this be the missing piece the team needs to push deeper into the playoffs next season? The speculation continues to grow as insiders note that negotiations are still in their early stages, with both sides weighing options and potential trade packages. In the high-stakes world of the NFL offseason, rumors like this often swirl before anything concrete emerges. But the possibility of TRAVON Walker donning the Eagles' green and white is a tantalizing prospect. If the deal goes through, it could mark a significant shift in Philadelphia's defensive strategy and signal the team's aggressive intent to compete at the highest level. For now, all eyes are on the Eagles' front office as fans eagerly await any official announcements. Until then, the trade chatter around TRAVON Walker remains one of the hottest topics in NFL circles, promising an intriguing offseason full of moves and surprises. Whether or not the Eagles finalize a deal, the buzz alone is enough to keep the Philadelphia faithful dreaming big about their team's future defensive dominance. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.